Alright, welcome back everyone. This is gonna be Mario Galaxy, the Luigi any percent category. Ready for a countdown?
Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go!
So this is the Luigi any percent category. The first thing which I should explain is why we run as Luigi. The first thing that if you might remember this game, is that Mario usually starts with a cutscene right here, which tells a little bit about the story. However, Luigi doesn't have that cutscene, so it already is 5 minutes faster than the Mario percent category. Besides that, Luigi also runs a little bit faster and jumps a bit higher, which makes not necessarily more skips possible, but definitely way easier. So at this beginning planet, we have to catch some bunnies, which are gonna hide on this planet. Whoa. Whoops. I was supposed to land before that. And we can actually stop these bunnies by hitting them with star bits. Otherwise, you have to chase them, and it's just a lot of running around. The second one is in here. Didn't hit it, but I was still able. He got stuck on one of those green things. And then the final one will be in this pipe. Which, even though it was a pretty good start. So now that we caught them all, they think their Luigi is worthy to help their mama, which isn't gonna be Peach. It's actually the first time this female character is introduced into the Mario franchise, which is Rosalina. Here she will tell Luigi about what happens during the sort of beginning cutscene, which we skipped with Luigi. Because basically what happened is Luigi was invited to the Star Festival, which happens once 100 years. And during that, of course, someone appears, someone called Bowser. And basically he just kidnaps Peach again. And for that, to save her, we have to get to the center of the universe where she is, where Bowser currently is, creating his own universe. And right now we got the spinning power-up, or ability, so to say, which is going to be used quite a lot. Also, you might see the camera pan in and out a little bit. Oh, I forgot one star piece. I'm doing these out of order now. So what I did while doing the landing was a camera cancel. Normally when Luigi lands on a planet, he actually takes a little while before he can start moving. But if we quickly go into first-person mode and go back out again, he'll actually be able to start walking more quickly. So it saves not even a second though, but since this can be done many times in this run, eventually if we just constantly do it, we'll save a few minutes. So here one of the Lumas transforms. And then to save the next one we have to defeat the big Goomba, which we're gonna hit this shockwave spine a little bit early with a few star bits, just so he's knocked down more easily, so we can quickly capture him, hit him afterwards. Now, a really difficult cutscene skip is coming up here. It's basically a 1-frame window where I can jump. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, so we have to watch a little cutscene here. If you actually get a first-frame jump, you actually cancel a lot of animations in this game. So every time you enter a level, if you get a frame on the first jump, you can actually start moving Luigi instantly instead of getting the landing animation. So I'll try to be going for a lot of these first-frame jumps, but if we just can get a few, it will already be nice. So right here we're collecting the first Grand Star, which is grander than a regular Power Star. And this will actually light up an extra part of the hub world. So in this hub world there are 6 I believe, 6 different areas which you can unlock. And to unlock each next one, you need to collect a new Grand Star. It's a really beautiful place, though. So here the observatory actually lights up. You can see the first dome. We won't be spending a lot of time in the observatory. We'll try to stay inside the domes as much as possible, but sometimes the game forces you to go back to the observatory to the start. But we'll try to do that as little times as possible, or actually use it to our advantage when we have to walk to a different dome, which is really far away. So Rosalina is telling, and her assistant, which doesn't have a name, tell more about the observatory, the home of all the Lumas, which are these little star guys that fly around. And the reason the Star Festival is held actually in the Mushroom Kingdom is because this observatory is actually flying by every 100 years. But unfortunately, this time the observatory stopped because Bowser stole all the power stars, which are the source of power of this observatory. So, to actually make this thing move again, we need to recover power stars So for now, we're just gonna help them. It seems like a good place to start saving Princess Peach. Ah, you can jump in between those 2 poles, but sometimes you bonk on the pole. We can try it a few more times in this run. So here, the Luma will explain a little bit about the of each dome. So every time you go in a dome, there are 5 different levels. You need a certain amount of stars before you can unlock the next one. And every dome will always have a Bowser level at the end, besides the final one, but that one won't be accessed in this run, in this category. So he'll explain a bit about revealing this galaxy and that you're able to fly there. This is basically more the first real star, I would say. I would say the first Grand Star we collect is a little bit more of a tutorial. And this is where some interesting skips start happening, because all these planets have a gravity field around them, but sometimes you can already access previous gravity fields from earlier planets. Oh, we accidentally bonked there. Also, normally you're supposed to talk to this Luma right up here, but if you do a long jump, you can actually go immediately into the launch star, so... On this planet, we have to collect some star chips and try not to get hit by these boulders. Because every time you collect 5 of those star chips, if they were yellow, you'll unlock a launch star, and if it's blue ones, you unlock pool stars. Let's see if I can get the first planet skip. Unfortunately, I missed the triple jump, so we have to go a little bit more slowly up here. This will be the first planet skip then. So we jump up here, and actually the gravity field of that next planet is pretty large, so you can just do a side flip there and go up there.
Alright, we have €3.34 from Indy saying, no 700 yet? I guess I'm safe at least for now, OP.
So the first boss fight, which is Speedy Piranha. And we have to hit his tail multiple times, which isn't too difficult. We just have to do a feint right before we get to him, and we can almost immediately hit his tail. There's one more hit coming up. Yeah, that's the boss fight. The boss fights in this game are relatively quick. They always take 3 hits, and normally it doesn't take very long before you can start hitting them. So you might have... I thought a little bit about the starbits before, that we can shoot them like I did with the bunnies in the first planet. Now we get a little bit more of an explanation about what starbits are. Apparently these Lumas really like the taste of starbits, so it's the food of the Lumas. So he'll explain now that you can grab these starbits and then feed them to him. But it's actually faster to just use your own starbits and then afterwards grab the starbits. So we'll actually be using this fact that Lumas eat starbits. Because in this level, the concept of a hungry Luma starts happening. This hungry Luma needs to be fed a certain amount of starbits. And when you feed him enough, he'll actually transform into a lunch star, which we need to get further through the level. And this one needs quite a lot. He actually needs 100, so I actually have to do go a bit out of my way to collect some starbits. So these little blue guys like to get stuck on your head. Try to lure them over here so I can get those starbits and kill them at the same time. And now we actually use this Luma to actually bounce to where the launch star is. Normally you have to talk to the blue Luma there and he'll turn into pool stars, which you can grab with a cursor, and then you can actually just float in air at those spots. But talking to him is really slow. So we try to avoid talking to Lumas as much as possible. Also, I don't have that many starbits, so I have to go a bit out of my way to grab some extras. Ideally, you want to get here with 84 starbits, but since I only had 80, I have to walk through the flowers a bit here and even kill this Goomba. So now we gotta wait a little bit until all the starbits are fed, as he grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Transform! And he turns into a whole new planet. So, with Luigi, this part is really easy. It's really easy to just do backflips and just jump up via the wall. So, at this part, we'll actually start seeing the gravity fields a bit more in action. In here, either the gravity can be up or down, depending on where you are in the thing. Luckily, since normally it was designed for Mario, so they really made some of these jumps really easy for Luigi. Also, I'll be shooting starbits now and then, because every time if we end a level without any starbits, that means we won't get a text prompt at the end of the level. That will save about half a second. But if we do that every time when we have a very low amount of starbits, it will add up. In total in this run we need 1,000 starbits to feed 2 hungry Lumas in the Comet Observatory. We'll try to collect the starbits in levels with a lot of them, just so we don't have to collect these small amounts, like 3 starbits, and get a text box in the end. So now that we have 3 stars, we actually unlocked the next level. The final level in Good Egg Galaxy is really long, so we don't like to go there. So this is where the first instance of power-ups starts appearing. There are multiple power-ups in this game. Like in this level, it's the B power-up, But there are also power-ups like the original Fire Flower, an Ice Flower, and also the standard Rainbow power-up. Even though you're intended to do a quite long route on this planet, there's actually a little skip we can do here by long jumping up in the back here. You can actually skip most of this planet by just getting right to the end. Oh, this honey can be a bit annoying now and then, because she actually can't jump normally anymore once you're in there. So this is the place where we actually start getting our first power-up. And I'll try getting a side flip into the power-up, so we actually are already high enough to fly up to these flowers. And as you can see, Luigi has only a certain amount of stamina which he can fly with. Normally it doesn't give that much trouble. There will only be one level where we actually have to use almost our maximum of stamina. So now one of my favorite characters in this game is coming up. It's Queen Bee. And she's having some itches on her body, which we should just help her with. Although she might like it a bit too much though. Yes, that's the ticket. Anyway, she's really grateful for that we grabbed all those star bits, and she thinks we're now official part of the bee community. But I think she doesn't know that we're not a bee. And here, another great character, Captain Toad, which we all know from that he got his own game way later, but this is the first appearance of him. And he's really nice to us. He helps finding us stars here and there. When we go back to the observatory now, we actually get sent back to the start, because Rosalina wants to talk a little bit about these toads that you found. Because these toads are now actually also in the observatory. And she actually learned your name as well. That's a really nice thing about this game though. Like, there are a few instances where Mario's name was called in the regular run, but they actually just changed it all around. Even though Luigi is also in the Mario any % part of this run, Luigi was also in that part of the run. Like, he'll get stuck in a mansion somewhere, maybe Luigi's mansion. It's probably Luigi's mansion, but you might expect, like, we already see Luigi here, right? Then it's gonna be Mario in the mansion, right? Well, you'll be surprised. So another little sort of glitch we're gonna execute is the slow mechanic. Actually, some of the slopes you can run up to, and if you quickly spin while running up, Luigi actually starts running a bit faster again, and you can run up slopes which you're normally not intended to.